Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Jumpsuit from 21 Pilots' 2018 album, Trench. I'm musically malnourished. You're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. This second course video is where we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's hop in and take a look at this song in a little further detail. All right, got a little lengthy section here. And with 21 Pilots songs, we generally have quite a bit to go through. So, Jumpsuit is the lead single from 21 Pilots' fifth album, Trench. The track was first scheduled to premiere on various radio stations throughout the United States at 8:30 a.m., but was instead released 47 minutes prior on both iTunes and the band's YouTube channel. If it came out through their YouTube channel, I wonder if that was planned. And maybe if there's a significance to the number 47, or if I'm just looking too much into it. The song is characterized by the contrast between Joseph's heavy-handed bass guitar suite and a soothing combination of hushed vocals, heavy with modulation, and lush synths. Tyler's vocals begin to crescendo toward the end as he gradually begins to favor a falsetto scream in place of the whisper-soft lyrics. This increases in intensity and is very reminiscent of past top songs such as Trees and Car Radio. In an interview with BBC Radio 1, Josh Dun revealed that work for this song began towards the end of the Emotional Roadshow tour. Tyler came up with the bass riff and would play it during the sound checks before shows. The song was chosen to be the first single off the new album following Blurry Face as it continues the story. Lyrically, the song makes reference to the disillusion to Dima, a fictional walled city, and the escape attempts of Clancy as described on the DMAORG website that accompanies this album. Is this website still live? It is. Oh, okay. Whoa. I remember seeing these in the City Walls video. Interesting. You got this O up here in the top left corner that's on their in their name. But I remember seeing the antlers. Okay. There's a lot here, huh? Intense. Has anyone ever done a video of like a dramatic kind of read through of this stuff while it's showing on screen as like a way for somebody to watch it? Oh look, it's the 9 circles. Because those represent the 9 bishops, right? And each of them with a name, and the same from the Blurry Face album. But what I was saying is, I wonder if anyone's done a video where like it's kind of showing the images, or scrolling through the page at the very least, and reading the content. Wow. Okay. We'll have to give this a look somewhere, sometime. It's cool the website's still alive, though. The song's title references a yellow jumpsuit that is used to avoid detection from the bishops that oversee Dima, since the bishops are unable to see the color yellow. Because I did see as well I can't remember what the line is, but like freedoms to the east, or the east is free, or something like that, but it's kind of reminiscent of how the sun rises in the east, and yellow is also meant to embody like the sun and the light, because obviously the light rising is what casts out the darkness. It's interesting how deep they went with the lore, and it's cool to create albums and write around all those characters and things to still share the message that you're trying to share. But it's funny because like the song Jumpsuit, other than just being a cool listen, you'd have no idea. Because I'm already like, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, jumpsuit, what does a jumpsuit have to do? But if within the lore, there is a specific jumpsuit that does a specific thing, obviously it sheds light on that. One such escape attempt is shown in the music video for the song. In an interview with BBC Radio 1, Josh Dunn gave some background on the creation of and lyricism of the song. It's a little heavier. I remember actually near the end of the last tour cycle, Tyler and I were on tour, just kind of like play stuff at sound check, and Tyler was on bass guitar and playing that riff. And I feel like maybe that was one of the first ones that was starting to be worked on while we were still on tour. And over time turned into what it is. But I would say, me personally, it's kind of like picking up with where Blurryface ended. So it felt like the first track back to kind of bridge that gap and go from one record to the next. The figure in the red hood is thought to be one of the 9 bishops in charge of the city Dima, which you can read more about here. There are theories that the bishop could be Nico himself or personification of the character Blurryface. And like I said, somebody let me in on the idea that the music videos don't go in order, so that I need to kind of look at the proper order. So I will do that. All right, let's look. Cover Me. So I'm assuming this is kind of an infiltration of Dima. So like, get my back. And if they're together, then obviously this also speaks to the idea of having friends, having like-minded people that can cover you. I can't believe how much I hate. Pressures of a new place roll my way. Jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me. I crumble underneath the weight. Pressures of a new place roll my way. The lines are referencing Clancy's escape from Dima, his unfamiliarity with the outside world, and the pressure to escape those who want to take him back to Dima. Okay. So he escaped. All right. So if Dima is supposed to represent kind of being held captive by the enemy, captive, I'm sure, by fears, anxieties, all those things, depression. If Clancy escaped from Dima, then he's like kind of coming out into the light and trying to learn a different way. And so it's a new place. Like, because I feel like Tyler's talked before about kind of the depression or the darkness or whatever feeling like home. Now I could be mixing that up with some NF lyrics. Sometimes they blur together, but it often can feel, even though it's like a miserable place or a hard place or a place you want to escape, it is what you know. It is your comfort zone. And so people can tend to run back to those things, much like an addict. So if it's this idea of him escaping from Dima and now there's a new place and he's not really quite sure how to handle that or how to deal with it. The pressure to escape those who want to take him back to Dima. The hate may be directed at the bishops, as Clancy tells in the first letter. To refer to Dima as my home has never felt accurate. Dima to me has simply been the place I've existed, or the slot they've put me in. Wow, that's powerful. These lines could also be a reference to Joseph's opinion about the music industry. The band becomes extremely popular with the release of the previous record, Blurryface. Jumpsuit and Nico and the Niners have been their first major releases since the band's undeniable success. Pressures of a New Place here is a reference to how Joseph's feeling uncomfortable about being a commercial artist and having global fame in such a heavy and rigid industry, an idea which has been explored in previous 21 Pilots songs such as Lane Boy. So let's check this out. The music video finds Joseph clad in a yellow jumpsuit trying to evade a mysterious figure reminiscent of past albums Blurryface. Cool. The jumpsuit is an integral part of the Dima narrative and may even be the key to freedom. In Nico and the Niners, Tyler says, I'm heavy, my jumpsuit is on steady. I'm lighter when I'm lower, I'm higher when I'm heavy. Oh, I'm so high, my jumpsuit takes me high. The first jumpsuit to enter the fashion world was called the tuta, which, I mean, might as well take a look, right? That's not a jumpsuit, right? Or I guess it is. Okay, not what I was expecting. Which in Italian refers to garments T-shape. It was meant to be an anti-Burgess statement because it was derived from rugged worksman clothes. The T-shape and durability of the suit lend credence to the theory that the jumpsuit is an armor of faith. Interesting. Spirit in my room, friend or foe, felt it in my youth, feel it when I'm old. So that just seems to me like at least in some way, pointing to the blurry face type character. Spirits in my room. So more than one may even represent the 9, but not sure, like, are they here for my good or for my bad? I felt them when I was young. I feel them when I'm old. And that's the reality, right? That we still deal with things, that we never reach perfection. Jumpsuit, cover me. Dusting off my jumpsuit, cover me. And I'm curious here if it's the idea is the jumpsuit is covering him, the same up here in the intro, because I thought cover me might represent like I'm going in, but I also haven't seen the video. So I don't know if it sounds like he's coming out of it. So I thought it was kind of like a, hey, get my back, but maybe he's just saying like this jumpsuit, this thing I have is what covers me. And so he's just repeating that within the song, cover me. I can't believe how much I hate. Okay, same thing. I'll be right there, but you'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air. See, this is interesting, which we'll read it in a second, but like, I'll be right there. Where is there? But you'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air. If you need any, like, so, yeah, I'm just getting conflicting things because if I'll be right there, but you'll have to grab my throat. It would make sense to me if it was like, I'll be right there, like if he was going into to fight and then somebody grabs his throat and lifts him in the air. If you need anyone, I'll stop my plans. But you'll have to tie me down and then break both my hands. So I guess it could be this idea of like feeling pulled back in, like he'll be there because he can't help himself. But as far as being controlled, like you'll have to grab my throat, lift me in the air. If you need anyone to like do your bidding, I'll stop my plans, but you'll have to tie me down and break both my hands. I don't know, guys. I'm floundering over here. Let's see if this sheds some light. In this part of the music video, the hooded horseman is seen walking towards Tyler and smears black paint onto his neck. Just like Tyler had during the Blurryface era, this horseman is his bishop, Nico, who was previously called Blurryface. Okay, so Nico is Blurryface. So you have Clancy and Nico. In the following scene, Tyler is seen following the horseman. Tyler's hands and throat are arguably his most important possessions, as he needs them to make music. Okay, cool. The sardonically contradictory statements show a great desire to balance both life and music, even though music seems to be taking precedence. So yeah, I guess this idea is kind of what I was saying and why I was getting tripped up. Sardonically contradictory. What a set of words. Let's see. Hey, don't give me that. There we go. Sardonic, speaking or acting with mocking, bitter, or darkly sarcastic humor, sharper than regular sarcasm. It carries a bite. I'm going to start using that. Listen, I don't appreciate your sardonic language. Something that goes against itself or presents opposing ideas. Well, yeah, I know what contradictory is. Sorry, I got distracted. Sardonically contradictory describes a statement, attitude, or behavior that is intentionally self-contradicting in a mocking, cynical, or darkly humorous way. Okay, so I'm not an idiot. It is this idea. I'll be right there. Like, why would you go there? So if it's even referencing his throat with singing in capturing his voice, like, I'll be there, but you'll have to force me. Same with the hands. And I wonder if that means like to use his gifts, period, or to use them improperly. However, his throat and hands are also what Tyler wore black paint to signify blurry face ego, so this may represent a desire to become something new. Yeah, I don't know if I've fully wrapped my head here, so help me in the comments. Oh, sorry, wrong side. Okay, that's pretty much the end. All right. Hey, I'm loving it. Be patient with me, okay? Help me. And we'll get through this together. It really doesn't bother me to not know. And if you've been watching for any length of time, you probably know that by now. I'm fine. I'm just going to wrestle with it and like, I think I get this. I don't really get that. And it's okay. It's an awesome song if I don't ever get it, but I'll listen to it more. We'll keep moving through the album. We'll watch the videos. We'll check into fan theories and all the types of things, and it'll shed some light on it. So let's have some discussion in the comments. I imagine Trench is going to have plenty of room for discussion, and maybe not just Trench, maybe from here on out. So, yeah, let's have a conversation. Thanks for being with me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. We're eating good.